Granted, I'm not the most avid watcher of the BBC because I'm stuck in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it, honestly, but,
It'll come back.
Oh, it will.
It will.
But,
Just like pro wrestling, it'll come back.
Yeah, when they finally figure out what the heck they're doing.
They have to go through a generation of crud before they find somebody that actually relates to the audience.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and plus a lot of the big names in wrestling, they're kind of gone. There really hasn't anyone like now granted, this is a little bit of an old example, but Stone Cold and The Rock.
Yeah. Those
guys, now granted, I wasn't there when they were like super big, but I remember hearing that those guys were so big in the WWE/WWF, depending on the year, obviously. They were so big that they drew in people who weren't wrestling fans. Like, you couldn't stop hearing about them.
Oh, yeah.
And I have not heard of anybody doing that for WWE.
Not to that level.
Not to that level where it drew in people who didn't watch
Mick
wrestling.
Foley, Mankind.
Yeah.
He's gotten close.
Yeah, he got close. Let's see, The Rock, Stone Cold, The Undertaker.
Undertaker definitely. He has a built-in fan base.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm in that fan base. It's not going away.
No.
John Cena, to a degree.
Yeah.
He was admittedly like a pretty boy meathead to me. Because here's the thing. In my opinion, as a lady,
sure,
he looks good.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's smart or anything, but he looks good.
Well,
he seems to do a pretty good job. I'm trying to think. Who else would be technically a draw? Triple H to a degree. Shawn Michaels to a degree. I would watch Shawn Michaels over Triple H, personally. That's just my thing.
Yeah.
Mostly because
Shawn Michaels is out.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels is out. Triple H is
might get Triple H in something, but you'd want to see him get whooped.
Oh, yeah, because I think what happened to Triple H is he married Stephanie McMahon, so he really doesn't have to work anymore if he so chose.
I guess.
I think Triple H kind of, he's sort of doing the same thing that Vince McMahon is doing, where, and granted, now, I haven't watched wrestling in several years, wrestling fan, so if I'm wrong, please leave a comment and tell me that I am wrong.
Yes.
Yes, please interact, all that fun stuff. Leave a comment, tell us things, suggestions. We don't care. I'll
talk about my haircut.
That's not bad if you're looking at the picture. But I don't want to talk about my hair. Anyway.
It's great.
Yeah. But I think Triple H is doing the same thing that Vince McMahon is doing, which is like the evil suit.
Oh.
I think he's doing that. Yeah. I'm not sure.
It works.
What's he
going to be?
I don't know.
He's been a heel.
Yeah, he's been a heel.
And even when he was, a face, he really wasn't that great of a face. He was a better heel than he was a face.
True, which that's fine. Some people are better at one versus the other.
Now he's old and
he's bald.
And treacherous. And,
he's old, bald. He married Stephanie McMahon.
If you're older, you have to be treacherous.
Mm-hmm. Because apparently that's just how it works.
Well, physically, he's not a match for anybody that could come along right now and, draw press. Mm-hmm. People would be interested in. So he's got to be cunning.
He's got to be crafty.
Got to be crafty and a cheater.
Yeah, but
got to be a bad guy.
But here's the thing. I have not heard, here's the thing. I'm not connected into any channels. I'm personally not connected to any WWE channels, so I don't hear a lot of what they're doing, any storylines or any rivalries going on about. But that's the problem, is I'm not checked into these channels. I kind of gave up watching wrestling a long time ago, around the time, The Undertaker definitely retired, because at that point I'm just like, man, look, I know Undertaker's like pushing 50, 60 years old, but man, I want my Undertaker. He was my favorite because he was all spooky, and I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just stopped watching it because, I think a lot of people stopped watching after The Undertaker went away. Let's be honest.
Well, what's so bad about it is, when Stone Cold Steve Austin, it was big.
That guy was
big.
Oh.
And there was no There was no farewell tour for him. Like somebody like
no,
somebody like Ric Flair. His farewell tour has lasted a couple of decades.
Oh yeah, because he's Ric Flair.
Because he's Ric Flair, but Stone Cold,
I think what happened to Stone Cold was he got really hurt.
He got really hurt.
Yeah, he got really hurt. Like, I don't remember what.
See him having issues with his knees.
Yeah, because he had to wear braces all the time.
Braces, but then somebody did something.
Yeah, that's what happened. Someone was doing, I think, and I'm, again, don't quote me on this. I'm not looking at anything that says the details of it. But he was in a matchup with somebody who did some sort of pile driver, except they did it wrong. I think they had Stone Cold too low. Like, you're supposed to when you're doing a pile driver move, you're supposed to have someone put it, like, a certain amount of height off of the mat. That way, when you drop them directly on their head and therefore their spine, it lessens the impact on their head and spine. But this guy had him too low, I think.
I can't imagine.
When he dropped him, it basically just roughed him the heck up.
I can't imagine a move like that being used on someone in his
condition.
Well, not necessarily condition, but someone in his I know they want he was extremely popular at the time. The Rattlesnake.
Yeah.
I was getting a little tired of the beer shtick, but that was was his thing.
You were just mad because he wasn't Sharon.
He wasn't Sharon. He wasn't Lucy, and he. And then he just disappeared. I mean, you could see him trying to get through a couple of matches.
Yeah, he got roughed up.
I don't understand
really
why he even allowed himself to be put. I don't care who it is.
Honestly, I don't either.
That's a dangerous move.
Yeah, there's a reason why there's a reason why you've only seen certain people do that pile driver move, especially in the later years. The only person I personally saw it who used it very frequently was The Undertaker, because that was a trademark move. Not only that, but The Undertaker was like 6'7" at minimum.
At least. He was somewhere between 6'7" and 6'10".
Yeah, he was I think he is 6'10".
Yeah, 6'10".
So either way, this guy was tall.
There's some Lakota Sioux in there somewhere, I hear.
He's got to be in. There's got to be some American Indian somewhere in him. So here's the thing. He was really tall, so he could very easily pick you up a certain amount off of the mat, so it wouldn't, like, destroy your spinal cord, basically.
He probably could drop somebody. It looks so real for someone of his height to drop somebody. Sure,
but obviously he knew what he was doing, being, like 30, 40 plus years in the biz. And then he retired, he lost the streak, and that was it, and I was unhappy. And I stopped watching because I'm like, Undertaker's gone, he was spooky. I mean, I get it, but still, like, jeez.
I always wonder where he got those big dishwashing gloves from.
They probably had special ordered those after a while.
I guess. I'm like, what in the world is that?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard. I don't know where he got those gloves. They probably made them for him. But but there really hasn't been anybody who has been a draw for the WWE.
No one has captured the imagination.
No, there's not. There's not been one person from the WWE where it's like, oh, did you see what this dude or this chick did? They like climbed on top of the roof of the arena and then dive bombed directly onto the ring. And as soon as they hit the ring, they did like a quadruple backflip and drop kicked someone outside of the ring. And then they like phase shifted through time and went backstage and like slapped Vince McMahon and then went back to the ring, but all before the ref could count to 10.
It's a sonic screwdriver.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I haven't heard anything like legendary. Actually, you know what's kind of screwed up in a way? Well, maybe not screwed up, but just kind of interesting in a way.
Yeah.
I have not heard stuff about that from the WWE, but do you know where I have heard tales and whispers of people just performing their hearts out in the wrestling ring?
Yeah.
New Japan Wrestling.
New Japan Wrestling.
I mean, I don't. Now, granted, I don't have the context for this match, but I remember
that stuff will make you hold your breath.
Yeah, New Japan Wrestling is where it's at.
It ain't no joke.
Yeah, if you like wrestling, if you, the listener, like wrestling at all, and you're just like, man, the WWE just ain't cutting it, go look at New Japan Wrestling.
New Japan Wrestling.
I showed you, Scratch, a video of a dude by the name of Will Ospreay, or Ospreay. However you say
Ospreay?
Ospreay? The dude, I think, is...
Bird?
The dude is, I think, Australian or New Zealand, so I don't even know how you say it. I'm not.
Oh.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Okay.
So I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know.
And what had happened was there was this clip. This is what got me into New Japan. Now, granted, I haven't been an avid watcher because I don't know who anyone is, and I haven't picked a favorite yet.
And I can't pronounce their names anyway.
Oh, I can. You be quiet. But there was a video of I'm trying to think. I think it was Will Ospreay was like on the top buckle of one of the corners of the ring, and I know this guy's name, but I don't know him that well. He like ran towards him. While Ospreay was on the top buckle, and he was trying to hit Ospreay, like knock him off of the buckle. And instead what happened was the guy running into the buckle, he got kind of like knocked into that corner of the ring. Meanwhile, Ospreay, to avoid getting knocked off of that top rope, he jumped, did a flip, and landed directly on his feet, which I have never seen anyone do before. You remember now?
Yeah. No, I can't imagine who's going to do that on this side of the Pacific.
No.
Too many beer bellies.
Yeah. There's like not a lot of high flyers anymore. I mean, I think Rey Mysterio hasn't retired yet.
I thought
I'm not sure.
I think he's the original Rey Mysterio. I don't think it's the original.
No. Sorry, Junior. Technically Junior. Yeah, the Will Ospreay flip. Yeah, he's sorry, I'm looking at a video now. He's like on the top rope and he's fending some dude off. Oh, okay. What happens is he's on the top rope and he's trying to do some sort of splash move. It's like a tag team match, I believe. And someone he tries to like, now mind you, I don't know all the wrestling moves, but it's yeah, he's on the top rope and someone's struggling to get at him, and all of a sudden he just jumps up. He does like some sort of
okay, that
dude, I showed you.
That's
sorry, we're looking at a video while you are not also looking at a video.
That's ridiculous right there.
Yeah, go look up Will Ospreay lands on his feet. There should be a video called Will Ospreay flip. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Just go look at that.
I don't know if I would ever try that move again.
No.
Because the success of it is definitely a statistical anomaly.
Yeah, this guy is just... Holy crap. I don't know who anyone else except for Will Ospreay is, but I know who that guy is.
I can't even imagine saying, okay, all right, at this point, I want you to grab me with your knees, and I want you to grab me around my ears and my throat.
And I want you to throw me off the top rope. I want you to
throw me off the top rope using the inertia of your body.
And then I'm going to flip in the air and land on my feet.
And land on my feet in a total badass position.
Mm-hmm. And you're just going to look so shocked because you can't believe that I did that.
And I'm going to be shocked too, but you're never going to see it. Oh my Lord. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's New Japan Wrestling for you.
Not me.
Yeah, apparently that's where all the talent in the world has gone, is Japan. I guess because they're paying them better? I don't know.
The insurance better be better.
Yeah, the insurance.
Holy cow.
Yeah, insurance is probably not only better, but cheaper.
That's not a recipe for spending the rest of your days on a vent wearing a diaper, having some stranger come in and wipe your ass every day. Nothing is. Man alive.
Yep, that's it.
Ooh. I think I was that young at one time, but holy cow. Man, that was dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Especially during the 70s. So yeah, New Japan Wrestling Japan in general seems to be where all the talent went. Because for some reason, WWE has... I'm not saying they're bad. They're just not as good as they used. They're stuck.
Yeah, they're stuck.
Yeah, they are just in a spot where they're just kind of going on via the inertia based on all the stuff they've done in decades past at this point.
I mean, it's it has its it's ebb and flow. It has its seasons, I guess. But no, it's you when it starts finding itself, and when it starts finding itself in prime time.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's an old television reference, and it's not necessarily with streaming services and the internet, but a primetime spot on TV be like Friday, Saturday,
some parts of Monday,
and when that starts showing up on not just one of the specialty services. But don't they have their own channel?
I think they do. They definitely have their own streaming service, I believe. I think, or at least a channel on a streaming service. Which I'm just like, so you basically just opened up a channel where people just watch all your old stuff. I gotcha.
Oh, well, I can't do that for everybody.
No, they can't do that for everybody.
Man, there's some old school stuff.
Oh yeah,
like the NWA.
Oh.
People,
Wait. NWA? That's the rap group. Or you mean NWO? New World Order.
No.
Because there's NWA, the rap group.
It was National Wrestling Alliance. That was,
whoa! Is that one of the old territories?
That's one of the old territories.
Oh,
the Carolinas.
Okay. Back
that covered where we live in our region.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is like before the WWE. This is back when they had wrestling territories.
Yeah, the WWF was mostly in the northeast.
Around the New York area?
Around the New York area.
Okay, that makes sense.
The New England area and all those places. And everything down here was NWA. And then there was Florida.
Florida had their own because, of course,
Florida
they did.
Had their own.
Because, of course, Florida did.
And...
hang on,
every now and then you'd catch some of that stuff coming out of Texas.
Yeah, hang on, let me look up you go ahead.
And every now and then you'd catch something coming out of the Midwest.
Old wrestling territories.
Yeah.
All right.
I will never forget. There was this one wrestling league that popped up. Apparently someone said, "Hey, I got a great idea," and apparently a lot of money. Let's create a I don't want to say Christian, but it was definitely
religious.
No, it wasn't religious per se.
Okay,
but they didn't use. It was really weird. They there was no dirty stuff, and they didn't use bad slang. Because,
so it was like cleaned up promos.
It was like cleaned up promos where they would be calling each other like a dumb bunny.
That just sounds stupid.
It was stupid.
Look,
it was like Honor Wrestling or something like that. It used to come on the Christian station in the nearby town.
Oh, yeah.
It was a riot. An absolute riot.
Look, you ain't got to cuss out your opponent in the promo, but...
No, you don't.
That's just super Jesus-like. You don't cuss out people. You don't take the name of the Lord in vain. But you gonna hit somebody with a chair.
You're gonna hit somebody with a chair. They didn't have any of that kind of stuff.
Let's see. Let's see.
It was
sorry, you go ahead.
IWA, Independent Wrestling Association.
Hang on, I found the names of the old wrestling territories. Let's see. The WWF was in the New York area. There was adjacent to the WWF was a National Wrestling Federation around Buffalo and Cleveland.
Okay.
In the Canadian region, there was Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling, Canadian Athletic Promotions, IWA, something in French that I can't pronounce. I'm not going to do that because I don't speak French. Northland Wrestling Enterprises, which is still around the Canadian border. Maple Leaf Wrestling, which was in Toronto. Let's see. Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, which is the Charlotte area.
Yep.
This is like a weird split territory. The Georgia Championship Wrestling, which had Georgia and this one patch under Michigan for some reason. I don't understand. I don't know what happened. Florida had Championship Wrestling from Florida. Okay.
Yep. Gordon Soley.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Michigan had, I cannot read that. Yeah, the picture's a little too blurred out. Michigan had something. St. Louis Wrestling Club, World Wrestling Association in Indianapolis. Somewhere in the Midwest, there was like American Wrestling Association, NWA, Heart of America in the Central States, Tri-State Wrestling. Texas had 3 disputed territories, apparently.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, because Texas is basically its own country. Let's see, there was World Class Championship Wrestling in the Dallas area, Southwest Championship Wrestling in the San Antonio. Then there was Western State Sports in the Amarillo section.
I think Texas All-Star was what I remember.
Okay. Phoenix had Western States Wrestling Alliance. That's a mouthful. And California apparently was split in 2. Big Time Wrestling in the north, and then there was World Wrestling Association, Hollywood Wrestling in the Los Angeles area. And apparently Hawaii had its own 50th State Big Time Wrestling, Polynesian Pacific Wrestling. I want to see that.
Yeah, those guys probably beat the crap out of them.
Oh, yeah. So there was, back in the olden days, there was all of these wrestling territories before Vince McMahon bought out his own company and then just bought out everyone else or drove them out.
Drove them out, bought them out. Same.
Had them assassinated, probably.
I would doubt it.
Yeah, there's more
He
like
is a ruthless dude.
Yeah, don't let the shtick fool you. That dude is rough. But then again, he's a businessman from New York. What do you expect?
He's a businessman. Yeah. Well, yeah. Businessman from New York. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
pretty much.
That's a rough customer right there.
Been in a couple of scraps, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. And you know what's so crazy about Vince McMahon?
What?
That I've seen before he kind of stepped down when he turned like 70 or 80 or whatever, however old he is.
Couldn't get his walker up on the stage.
No.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
No.
You have to hit somebody with a chair. You can't hit somebody with a walker. So
No.
I guess that put him out.
Make a steel chair walker hybrid.
Little Jimmy chair. Boom. And run into people.
Oh, yeah. No, what I mean is one thing that's crazy to me about him. Now, I've never met the man. I don't think I ever will.
Probably not.
I doubt it. So, one thing that I always thought was kind of incredible was the fact that he played along with the show.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, after the Montreal screw job, he really didn't have any other choice but to play along as the corrupt businessman.
That is true.
Because at that point, it's like, you might as well do it.
Might as well.
You might as well just,
Yeah, you're not getting on the other side of that fence.
Yeah, you can't get on the other side of that fence.
No.
There's no way.
No.
So what ended up happening, what I mean is so incredible, is not just the fact that he decided to play along, but I've seen some, now granted, these are probably, obvious, these are, as staged wrestling is, this is probably like extra super staged, was there was a couple of times when Vince McMahon actually came to the ring to wrestle as well. And I'm like, you are probably the last person that should be doing that, and yet you are. And he was like jacked when I first saw him, like, because I'm thinking like, oh, Vince McMahon's gonna go fight. So I don't remember who his opponent was. It was something about him teaching someone a lesson because
when he first started.
No, not when he first started. Just I don't remember when this was. This is around the time when I first started watching, somewhere in like the 2000s or something.
Oh yeah, no, he spent a lot of time in the gym.
Oh yeah, he spent a lot of time in the gym, and I just wasn't expecting it. When I first started watching it, because at first I'm thinking, oh yeah, Vince McMahon's gonna go fight someone. This business suit, corrupt person. He's gonna go fight someone to prove a point or whatever. And he comes to the ring and he's like, got like pant. He's got like dress socks, pants, and shoes, and he's got like a wife, like a black wife beater
did he
on.
Have like a wife beater on?
Yeah, something like that. And I was like, oh my god,
he's got guns.
He's got guns. Jesus.
Yeah, really. You know what I never could figure out about him? I mean, I get the whole thing about his physique, obviously, if you're going to be in that realm.
No, I guess
it's going to be the alpha male.
I mean, that has to be
what
it.
I never could figure out was how come in the heat of battle his hair never moved.
Yeah, and that's a little crazy.
I don't know what kind of hair gel voodoo he had going on there.
Well, you've got enough money. You can pay some. Can pay some voodoo priest
Maybe
to come.
Maybe he's having it stitched to his head, but
Probably.
I know it never moved. He's getting put in headlocks and tossed all over the place.
It never moved.
His hair never moved.
I found a clip. This is a lot earlier than what I'm talking about. It's Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon, and it's like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, he's oiled up.
Yeah, he's
Look at Stone Cold. He's like, hey, wait a minute.
What am I getting into? Yeah, I know it's not fair to watch.
No, he looks like he's walking in wearing a suit that he doesn't own.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like
he can't believe it either.
Yeah, it looks fake. Like there's no way this guy can look this ripped, this shredded, except you obviously can tell it's not. That's not plastic surgery. That's real muscle.
Come on late Saturday. I remember
that actually
he had it was like a Tonight Show format. Him at a desk, and a couch. And a chair, with his sidekick, Gorilla Monsoon, and
oh Jesus!
And you would see this jacket that Vince would have on. Now, obviously, Gorilla Monsoon was a huge individual, but he was not. He was just a big guy. Vince McMahon, you could tell by the way the cut of the jacket. That this guy he had very, very specially tailored. Dress wear.
Yeah, even more so than your average rich person.
Yes. I can't imagine. Well, look what he does for a living. Look what he does for a living. He's got to he's got to spend some time in the gym sometime. He's talking to somebody.
Oh, sure. Yeah, obviously, in the nature of any sort of business like wrestling, you have to spend some time in the gym in order to keep up a front.
I'd recommend it.
I just wasn't expecting. I was expecting like to be toned.
Sure.
Not flabby at all. But there's a difference between being toned and not flabby at all, and whatever the frick I'm looking at on this video screen right here, with between Stone Cold and Vince. Now, granted, Vince is losing at this particular point, but I'm just like, dude, you did a lot of that's a lot of shoulder and chest.
That's a lot of work right there.
Yeah, it makes me wonder.
You can't buy that.
You can't buy that. No, that's a lot of work.
I don't care if you go to a cosmetic surgeon or not.
No, that's not plastic surgery. That's real.
That's decades in the gym right there.
Oh yeah, it actually makes me wonder. Since you only see him from like the waist up. Do you think he skipped leg day?
Probably skipped leg day.
Ha!
Oh, we hate you even more, Vince McMahon.
Every day is leg day.
Every day is leg day.